Hello students, today we will discuss about थॉमसन एवराइट्स कैरेक्टर। थॉमसन एवराइट जो है आपके द रिटर्न ऑफ द नेटिव में है, थॉमस हार्डी ने लिखा है ये नॉवेल। ओके, थॉमसन एवराइट इज वन ऑफ द 3 इम्पोर्टेंट फीमेल कैरेक्टर्स इन द नॉवेल द रिटर्न ऑफ द नेटिव, द अदर 2 बीइंग यूस्टेशिया वाई एंड मिसेज एवराइट. She has been portrayed as a foil to Eustacia, the heroine of the novel. First, her physical features. Thompson was born in a brought upon the Eden Heath. She lives with her aunt Mrs. Ebright. She has beauty of subdued, glowing rural kind, a fair country face, with freshness and the bloom of youth, but less striking than Eustacia. She has grace and she is praised highly for her prettiness. According to Turf Cutter 2, she is pretty maid. Hardy describes her beauty in the following words. Okay. In her movements, in her gaze, the reminded the beholder of the feathered creatures who lived around her home. All smiles and allegories concerning her began and ended with words. There was as much variety in her motions as in their flight. When she was nursing, she was a kestrel which hangs in the air by an invisible motion of its wings. When she was in a high wind, her light body was blown against trees and wings like a heron's. When she was frightened, she darted noiselessly like a kingfisher. When she was serene, she skimmed like a shadow. Next is his gentle nature. Thompson is a woman of gentle nature. The most striking features of her temperament is mildness. She has inherited from her father, who was a great and pious musician, although her aunt was against her marrying wildly. She maintains her usual relationship with her even after her marriage and try to console and comfort her when Clem goes away to live with Eustacia, leaving her alone on the heath. Wilde praises her as a pleasing and innocent woman. According to Timothy Fairway, it is a worthy thing to be married, Mr. Wilde, and the woman you have is diamond. Next, love for nature. Like her cousin Clem, Thompson is child of Eden Heath. She was born and brought upon the heath, so she is in love with the wild heath. When Clem wants her leave the heath and go to Goodmouth to find a suitable person to marry, she refused to do so, saying that she is too counterfeit for it. When Clem goes out in the dark to search for Eustacia and Wilde, she follows him without caring that it is for dark and raining. Hardy describes her love for the heath and the conversation with her husband Wilde. You go about so gloomily and look at the heath as if it were somebody's goal instead of a nice wild place to walk in. Wilde looks toward her with blank surprise. What do you like, Eden Heath? He said, I like what I was born near to. I admire its grim old face. Oh, my dear, you don't know what you like. I am sure I do. Next, her sense of dignity in love and marriage. In spite of her sweetness and deposition, Thompson is not a weak character. She has a sense of dignity and she is conscious of maintaining her reputation. When she fails to marry Wildlife at Anglebury, her aunt wants her to give up the idea of marrying Wildlife. She remains firm in her decision and says that she will marry only Wildlife. When Mrs. Ebright warns her that her own illustration will be the warning to all those girls who choose to marry a person against their guardians. Thompson protests vehemently against her remarks. She declares that she can't be grouped with thieves, drunkards, and gamblers. She wants to be judged according to her acts and nothing else. She says, "Why don't people judge me by my acts? Now look at me as I kneel have picking up these apples. Do I like a lost woman? I wish all good women were as good as I." She changed her idea. She says, "And that man I must marry for my bride's sake." She is sincere in her love of Wildlife and remains firm in her decision to marry him despite of the regard that he wavers between her and Eustacia. When her aunt holds Wildlife's disgraceful behavior responsible for the infamy that it has brought to her and the failure of her marriage with him, she says to her aunt, "You may think what you choose. I have never implied to you by word or deed that I have grown to think otherwise to him, and I never will, and I shall marry him." Next are her unhappy married life. Thompson's conjugal life was not happy. She knew that her husband took interest in Eustacia even after his marriage with her. He maintained her but did not give any money to her to buy anything. Of her own accord, she complained to her aunt about this as follows. "I want some money, you know, aunt, some to buy little things for myself, and he does not give me any." It was also known to her that her husband played truant at times. She said to when husbands will play truant, "You know, I wish you could tell me of some secret plan and would help me keep him at my will in the evenings." Even that she remained calm and did not create any problem for her husband, whom she conceived. It shows her honesty and consistency in love for Wildlife. Last conclusion. It is good that at the end of the novel, she is married to Gregory Van, who, contrary to Wildlife, is a devoted and patient lover of her. Both of them are similar in nature. And suffer much during the course of the novel. Her presence is felt in the novel from beginning to end, but she is not a dominating figure. She stands in complete contrast with Eustacia, and she is easily replaced by Eustacia, the Queen of the Night. Living Elderworth, Gilliam had settled in Blooms and he had already shifted the furniture there was, which was observed by Eustacia as they passed by Gilliam and forgiven Eustacia and repeated his ill behavior towards her. He was much hopeful of her coming back. Whenever he heard any shout, he thought that Eustacia had come back. On the eve of the 5th November, Gilliam went to meet Thompson and her husband. Wilder was not at home at that time. Gilliam told his sad story to Thompson. Thompson was much affected by his sad story. She suggested to Gilliam that he should request Eustacia to come back and live with him. If she did not come back, she would be considered guilty. Thompson was sure that Eustacia would come back. Gilliam asked if he should consult Wilder on this issue. She said that it would be useless effort, though she did not know if Wilder was also involved in that affair. Gilliam thought that Thompson was concealing some facts regarding her relationship with her husband.